fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can just treat this as a podcast and listen while I chat. Today is, for me, the first day of June. For you, it's the second. So I am just now getting started on my first DP for Pets kit. So this event is going to run the whole month of June. So many of you have posted about it. So many of you have filled out the entry form. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think this is going to be an awesome event. I am going to move things around a bit, zoom into where I'm going to be working, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Guys, I am going to get started, but it has just been one thing after another today. I spent most of the morning, well, the morning and a bunch of the afternoon, working on our garage sale. And then I came in here because I knew I was going to have to work on it. And I told my husband, we'll just do the garage sale, and then I'll come in here and I'll film so I have time to edit and get everything uploaded before Sunday, because our garage sale only ran Friday and Saturday. I come in here to film. I had pulled out my canvas, had everything. I didn't have pins or a tray. I had to go get those. And then I realized, oh, I still need to enter everybody's name in my little wheel. Let me go do that. And there are so many of you that took me a while. And then I come in here to sit down and start diamond painting, and I realized that my pen doesn't have any glue dots in it. So I just stuck some glue dots in it really quick so I can start diamond painting. Because there's nothing like being disorganized, right? Okay. I have lots of things to share with you guys, so let me just dive in to my life update. I think I told you guys last week we were celebrating birthdays and stuff. My youngest took his trip to Table Rock. Unfortunately, he came home early, sunburned and tired. The storm that missed us last weekend hit where he was. The tornado sirens went off. They lost power. They lost water. So he ended up coming home early. And he got sunburnt pretty badly. He's, even a week later, still kind of soaking and peeling and itching, and so was not as great of a trip as he was hoping it would be, I don't think, but he had fun. He got to spend some time with his friends, so he's back. We did have everybody over last Sunday for birthdays. I had a really good time visiting with all of my family, and I had my siblings look through everything to see if they wanted any of it. They took a few things, not a ton, but a few things, so that was good. My brother is going to sell the car, so they're in the process, he and my husband, of trying to find someone to buy the car. My brother doesn't have anywhere to store it, and he's like, I'm never going to fix it up. He's never was the car guy. It was always my dad. So, and strangely, my husband found somebody on Facebook that pretty quickly was willing to pay quite a bit more for it than I would have thought. So hopefully my brother can get him to purchase it, and then it will all be taken care of. We finished repainting our second bathroom. It actually took a lot less time. Of course, it's a lot smaller than our master bathroom, so it didn't take nearly as long, and it turned out really well. And we took down, there was a rack on the wall that was used when both my kids were in there for them to have space to put everything, because there wasn't enough room on the vanity. That went, it was amazing to me how much just getting rid of that one thing really makes the bathroom look way bigger. So now I am on a decluttering quest. We did have our garage sale this weekend. It actually went really well. I'm happy with it. We didn't sell everything that I was hoping to sell, but we sold a good chunk of it. And what we didn't sell, most of it is going to go back up on Facebook Marketplace and see if we can get rid of the bigger pieces. Some of the smaller, like kitchen stuff that didn't sell, we'll probably just make a run to our local charity shop to donate them. But we got to wait a couple weeks to do that, because whenever it's citywide garage sales, our charity shop that's run by the local churches, they shut down for a week and they won't take donations because in years past, of course, everyone who, whatever they don't sell at their garage sale, they will just take to the thrift shop and dump. And it's just a little store staffed by volunteers. It's just a little neighborhood thing. It's not like a big Goodwill or anything. And they can get overwhelmed super easily. So they just shut down and don't take any donations this week. So we'll sort out if there's anything worth taking to them. I've got more books that we're going to be taking to the secondhand bookshop. Some I'm pretty sure they'll buy. Whatever else they don't buy, we're going to donate. And yeah, it's been going a lot better. Our house is looking kind of empty. My husband has commented on that because we did sell quite a few pieces of furniture. We sold my vanity, that was my mom's, sold a jewelry armoire, that was my mom's. We sold a rocking chair, that was my mom's. We got rid of a couple bookcases. We sold all of our patio furniture. And then just a lot of other kind of odds and ends, some paintings, some artwork that we had hanging on the wall, a lot of stuff that I used back when I was still decorating cakes, that kind of thing. So we made a nice little chunk of money that we're going to put towards buying everything else that we need to do. I think we have decided that my husband did some digging and we actually can rent a U-Haul from here and cross the border with it. We can't, there is no U-Haul place in the town that we're moving to, so we have to kind of drive to another town to turn it in once we're done, but that's going to be a lot less expensive than us buying our own trailer, and I think my husband and I are both okay with that. He kind of wanted a trailer just so we would have one, but not knowing where we're going to end up, and it's 3 times as expensive to buy ourselves a trailer than it is to just rent a U-Haul and tow it behind our vehicle. So we're going to save ourselves some money that way and we'll just call it good. I think that is the way for us to go. Less stress for us. It's already going to be stressful enough trying to cross the border and export and import our one vehicle that we're taking. Strangely enough, I talked to my sister and told her that we were probably selling my dad's car. And I thought that she would be upset about it just because it's just a thing, but it's one of those things that it was one of the last cars my parents owned. I've had it since they passed, so I mean, it's almost 20 years old. It's not worth a whole lot, but I don't want to travel in 2 different vehicles. I think that's just going to cause more headaches than it solves, so we're just going to sell it. We actually met some people at our garage sale that we were talking to, and older retired couple. They are kind of snowbirds. They spend 6 months here while it's nice weather and see other family and everything, and they live in an RV park, and then when it gets cold and snowy, they live in an RV park in Mexico. So they were talking to us about how they got started and the things that they did and some kind of tips and pointers. They were talking to us about what kind of RVs they bought, what kind of campground they belong to. It was just really interesting to hear somebody who's actually done it. They've kind of lived that way for almost 20 years now, they said, and love it. Would never go back to having a brick and mortar house. They love being able to travel and kind of go where they want and do what they want to do. And he said, we're not rich. We're living on our pensions, but they did some smart things when they sold their house. They knew this is what they were going to be doing and made some long-term decisions, and it's really paid off for them, and they love it. So it's just nice to talk to somebody that has actually done it and kind of had some tips and tricks for those of us who are maybe thinking about it. Really encouraged my husband and I to go for it. She said, go for it while you're still young enough that you can get around and do the things that you want to do. And she said, I don't regret it. They actually traveled up to Canada as well when they were doing more than just the snowbird thing, and she just loved it. So it was interesting. The garage sale was kind of boring. lots of kind of spurts of business. My husband and I would sit there for an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden we'd have a whole rash of cars. But it was nice. It was nice just to kind of sit there and have some time to visit with my husband and visit with other people who came by to buy some stuff. And we emptied our house out, made a little bit of money, win, win, win. I don't know if we'll have another one before we put the house on the market. This next couple of weeks is going to have a lot of changes for us. Hubby is ready to stop driving back and forth every week. We've got a few things of paperwork to go through. We sent everything to the bank in Canada. We're still waiting to hear about pre-approval for a mortgage. But I think hubby is going to work another couple weeks and then give notice in order to, even if we're just going to roll over his retirement into something else, he can't have any contributions put in it for something like 45 days or something. So he has to quit working in order for us to do that, which he's oh so sad about, I'm sure. And then we can decide. So once he's done, then he'll come back here, and that gives us basically a month and a half while we're waiting on the transfer and everything to go through to finish up all the stuff we want to do in the house, get the house on the market, and hopefully sell the house. And then hopefully by the time all the money stuff is done, we will have sold the house and finished all of that, and we will be ready to go by the end of July like we were hoping. I told my husband I'm ready to go. I know it's going to be hard for me to say goodbye to my daughter, though. We've always just been close, someplace that we could, 15 minutes and she's at her house or vice versa. And I know I'm going to struggle with that, even though she's an adult, she has a job, she has her own place, she's fine. It's just going to be hard. So I'm not looking forward to that part, but I am looking forward to everything else. And I did manage to get some sleep on the second day. We had the first day of our garage sale, and I was running on about 2 hours sleep. And last night, I managed to get some decent sleep, so I'm happy about that. Hubby and I will be free to spend today, Sunday, to just kind of spend some time together before he heads off to maybe his last couple of weeks of work. Then we'll see. Him not working is going to force us to get things in gear, and so I think that's a good thing, even though it's kind of scary. And then we'll see what happens. I think after we move up there and figure out where we're going to be, he's going to try and just do storm work. That way he can be gone 2 weeks at a time, 4 weeks at a time, make some nice money, and then come back home and be off for 2 or 3 months. Less stressful on him, less stressful on me. And then I can work on all my diamond paintings and my other YouTube channel, which I'm still in the process of doing. That's one of the things on my agenda this week while he's back at work. He was on vacation this week while we were doing things, and I just didn't get as much done as I thought I would. I still need to finish my editing course that I was doing and then get everything set up for the new channel. I've done some back work, some admin stuff, but I haven't quite finished with everything yet. When I do, you guys will be the first to know if you're interested in following me and my exploits as we travel to Canada. All right, I think that's everything for my regular life. Guys, I'm starving. My husband went to go buy Chinese for lunch, and I can't wait for him to get back. All right, diamond painting update. What's been going on in my diamond painting world? You guys, I finished the Josephine wall. I'm so happy and proud of myself. If you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. It was my second Josephine wall, and oof. As I mentioned in the video, it was not an image that I was really in love with. I liked it. It just wasn't one that I was in love with, which is why I think, like I said, that I put it off for as long as I did. But it is done. It is super pretty. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy with the ABs that I added. I think it looks really good. And it's another huge project off my list. So super happy about that. And now I can concentrate on some other things. I do wish, like I said with the J-wall, that I had stuck to my original schedule that I made for myself at the beginning of the year. I mean, I did that purposely so that I wouldn't do exactly what I did, which was get stuck in the middle of a very busy month and just kind of have to go, okay, if I'm going to finish this, I've got to finish it now. Forcing myself to work on it and rush through it, which is not the best plan, but sometimes I just got to do what I got to do. And I know everyone is like, oh, I should just take my time and I shouldn't rush. Not that I disagree, but I have the added internal stressor of I have certain things that I want to get done for the channel, and so that was one of them, but it's done. So now that was actually one of my 5 oldest kits, so I can mark that off. I can concentrate on some smaller projects like this one for DP for Pets. I have my Basset Hound that I want to do for DP for Pets, which is another small one. I still want to try and finish my Jasper C. I've got another small painting I want to try and finish. So we'll see how many things I get done in June. Now, because May is officially over, it is time for me to look back at my diamond painting goals and see how I did. Some things I did super well on, some things not so much. So my first diamond painting goal, as always, is my diamond painting hours. I did super well with these because I finished the Josephine wall. So all of the hours, which were not all worked in May, but that's because of the way I count it, they get counted in May. I think I actually did some work on it back in January and February, so some of those hours get counted now. But regardless, I got for the month of May 146 hours and 43 minutes to count towards my goal, which I am super stoked about. So if I add the 146.43 to my previous total, which was 272.05, I am now sitting at, for the year, 418 hours and 48 minutes, which puts me pretty close. I've got June to work another 90 some hours, and that would put me halfway at the halfway point for my goal of 1,000. So I'm pretty confident I might actually make it this year. I don't know if I'm going to have any other big projects like the Josephine wall. I don't think so. I do have some larger canvases, but nothing the size of that I would be working on. So 418 hours and 48 minutes. What did I finish? Because finishes is my second goal. My goal for this year, because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of large canvases like the Josephine wall, was only 35. Usually I have 50 something as my goal. This year I just made it 35 because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of big projects, which is good because I only finished one thing in the month of May because that's all I worked on, and that was the Josephine wall. So I have one finish to add to for May. I add that to my previous 10 finishes, and that puts me at 11. So I don't know if I need to finish multiple kits over the next couple of months if I want to make even my 35. So we'll see how I do. The next one goal is my want series. I made a series of kits that I really, really wanted to work on, and I wanted to do one a month. I skipped March, I think. So I only had 3 done going in, and unfortunately, I'm also going to end up skipping May because all I worked on was the Josephine wall. So I got 0 done out of my want series. Now, several of them in the want series are not huge, so it is possible that I might be able to finish more than one of those in a month. We'll see if I actually make the 12. If not, it's not the end of the world, and everything on there is one of my, oh my gosh, I really want to do this kits. So even if I don't get them done this year, they'll get done at some point. So I'm still sitting at 3 for my want to do, which is fine. It's not, like I said, the end of the world. All right, number 4 is the big one, as always, my budget. How much did I spend this month? I don't think I spent, did I spend money? I spent less than $100 in April. This month I made up for that because this month in May I spent $479. Now that is on 8 kits. That includes 3 from some new to me companies that I'll show you eventually. That includes 3 that I bought from Oraloa. Those are the ones that were the travel posters. So you guys have all seen those. They did have another one come out with their last new releases, but it was San Francisco. It wasn't an international city, so Crossing my fingers, maybe there's still some more coming down the pike since they did that one, but we'll see. So I bought those 3, and then I'm still waiting on my 2 that I ordered from Diamond Art Club, my Jetsons, and then the one that was the pre-order, which has been the holdup. I did get a notice that it's shipped, so it's supposed to be here sometime next week. So hopefully I can get that. And then I will have my Jetsons kit, which will make me happy because I really wanted that one. Still kind of sad that Astro isn't in it. I was hoping they would do, and maybe they still will, I was hoping they would do like a series. I guess I had to wait a long time between all the bigger Scooby-Doo ones and then like the individual character ones when I got the Daphne one. So maybe they'll do individual characters of the Jetsons at some point, because they've done that for the Flintstones, and I guess I'll just wait and see. But I would love to get one that had Astro in it. So I spent $479 on 8 kits. That means I still have $1,156.58 left. So I have almost half my budget left. Now, $600 of that was supposed to be reserved for Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. However, since we probably will not be here for those, I don't know how much I would actually spend, because the kits are going to cost more and shipping will be more. So I just don't think I'm probably going to spend a lot of money this year, unless I have all the logistics figured out. There's an option for me to have like a P.O. box, sort of. Basically, you rent out a P.O. box in a UPS store, but you can use that as a physical address. So it's like getting delivered to the P.O. box, and I can get one of those in Maine and then just drive across the border and pick stuff up and then take it back across. I might have to pay import fees when we cross the border, but I might not. I'm sure it depends on how many things I buy. I still have points I need to use too, so I need to go back and look at that as well. There were a couple of kits this week for Diamond Art Club that I was like, maybe, but they weren't have to have, must have for me, so didn't get them. Anyway, so bought 8 kits, about half my budget left, a little under half. All right, then goal number 5 was my 5 oldest kits. I finished the Melody in Pink, the Josephine Wall, which was one of them. So I can add that to my previous total, which was 2 of the 5. So now I'm at 3 of the 5. Jasper C is another one of them. So I will hopefully get that finished and that one will be done. And then I just have one more that is one of my oldest kits that I will be hopefully working on in the near future. I would like to get that one done before we head to Canada, but I don't know if I will or not. You never know. Once we get busy with working on the house and hubby's home and we're doing house showings and stuff, I may not have as much time to work as I think I will. We're also going to be, I think, taking down my diamond painting adjustable table where I do all my diamond painting right now, which means I'll definitely be working on smaller projects because it'll be stuff that I will be using the dining room table for. So we'll see how it goes. I am in the process of decluttering lots of stuff, like I said. I've emptied out a lot of things, so now a lot of the stuff that's left is stuff I want to keep, but it's stuff we use, like bed sheets and that kind of stuff, so I don't want to pack it up yet. So I think what I've decided to do is use some of the dressers and things that I've emptied out and just put that stuff in them. That way it looks decluttered, even though I haven't actually packed everything. So it'll look nice and neat, and I won't have as much to do when people come to actually show the house. Hubby and I are both hoping that we'll get lucky and we'll only have to show the house a couple of times and then it will sell. But we'll see. Our town just passed a bond for the local school district to do a bunch of improvements and things. So hopefully that means that there will be some people who are wanting to move in. Maybe even a new teacher that's going to be teaching here that's looking for a house for their family. So that will be a project. I'm going to go see a realtor this week while hubby's working and see what we need to do to kind of get the process started. And then hopefully all of the paperwork won't take very long and we can get it on the market. Super lucky that we didn't have any damage from that storm a couple weeks ago. There's some people who had roof damage and things from trees falling on them, so Glad we didn't have to worry about any of that. I think if that had happened, I would have just called my husband and said, you have to come home. This is all above my pay grade. Sorry, you get to come home and deal with this. All right. Oh, I kind of got off track there. So 5 oldest. So I'm sitting at 3. My last goal is to increase my stash. I managed to make a pretty good start on that this month because I only finished the Josephine wall. So I only finished one thing, but I bought 8 kits. So I'm -1 for the Josephine wall, but I'm +8 for the ones that I bought. So I just put in a new glue dot and it is super sticky. So you guys, everyone always asks me about glue dots. I think I'm using the micro ones now. I take 2 or 3, sometimes 4, it just depends on the pen. And then I shove them in the pen with some tweezers. And then I like tap it on my pants or shirt, something fabric, to kind of dirty up the tip, because that will make the glue dots less sticky. Because what happens sometimes is what's happening to me. The glue dot is actually bonded to the drill stronger than the drill bonds to the canvas, even if I press down, and so it wants to lift back up. So if you ever have problems with your glue dots being too sticky, try just dotting them on clothing. You don't have to get a lot of lint or anything on there, but just quote unquote dirtying them up a bit will make it so that the drills stick more to your canvas than they stick to the glue dots. But they still make that nice popping sound. I get asked a ton how my drills make that popping sound, and that is how I use glue dots. Now, I only use glue dots in my single placer, which is why you don't hear that sound when I'm multi-placing. I actually bought some glue strips. Someone told me that they work in multi-placers just as well as the glue dots, because I like the museum putty, but it is very temperature sensitive. So if it is too hot or too cold isn't an issue, but if it's too hot in the house, and it gets hot here in the summers, if it's too hot in the house, it can get very gummy, and then it can be difficult to work with. So if I can make glue dots or the glue strips, whatever, work in my multi-placers, then that would be amazing. I wonder if you get the same pop. Does anybody use multi-placers with glue lines in them? Does it pop the same way? Because that would be awesome. Again, off track. That was the end of my goals. Okay, so there were my goals for May. Met some, missed some, but it's all good. I have a lot going on. I am starting to feel a bit like I'm burning the candle at both ends. However, I do think that June is actually going to be less stressful for me than May was, just in large part because hubby will be home if he's gonna quit working for the short term, and we'll be able to do some things at the house that I just can't do by myself. I can't reach everything when we paint, that kind of thing. My knees do not always like me going up and down the step ladder, so he gets to do some of that stuff that I just can't. So yeah, looking forward to being able to get some of that stuff done. Okay, so I told you all my goals, all of that stuff. I'm going to be working on my DP for Pets stuff. Bella Art had some new releases too that I saw, but I would love to buy some more kits from them, but none of them were just must-haves for me. Like I said, I'm excited that DP for Pets has finally started. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, head on over there and join us. I didn't make a post on Saturday, but I will try to make a daily post and ask everyone to kind of comment and share their pictures. I didn't do it on Saturday because 1, I was busy with the garage sale, and 2, when I went to go check the Facebook group, everybody was already doing it anyway on their own. So I just thought, I went through and liked everybody's post that was posting. I thought it was really funny. Some people were saying they were going to get started at midnight. I'm glad everybody's excited about this event. I think it's a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing it every year. It's also a reminder to me to kind of stay connected to that community. I'll have to find a local humane society when we move to Canada that I can donate to, but I will be donating to my local humane society either next week or the week after that. So I'll be sharing that with you guys. And I'm just glad that everybody is so excited about it. I actually, like I said, I went through and had to put everybody's names in my decision wheel so that we could have our first weekly drawing. And last I had checked, there was about 100 of you. And I guess just hadn't paid much attention since then. And I actually forgot that I had needed to do that. So I had to sit down and do that real quick before I started diamond painting and filming this. And there were almost twice as many of you. So it took me a little bit to enter everybody's name into the little decision wheel. But everybody is in there and I have it all ready to go. I just want to finish up the dark colors on this side of his little face. He's looking pretty cute already. I'm happy with that. And I think we are ready to have our first weekly drawing. This is a little bit of a shorter whip and chat this week, but I just have a lot going on, guys. So hopefully next week I'll have more to say. Maybe some more new stuff will be happening and I'll be able to share it with you. All right, let me zoom out here so you can kind of see what I've done. He's upside down, I know, but I made a pretty good start. I'm pretty happy with that. My drills aren't perfectly straight, but I'll straighten them up as I finish everything else, and we're good to go. All right, so what do we need to do? We need to have our first weekly drawing. Let me drop my little decision wheel here. This is for the weekly giveaways. The weekly giveaways are just going to be, it'll be something diamond painted related, but it's not going to be a big prize package or anything. It'll just be something. I'll go through my stuff and I'll send you something cool. So I've got everybody entered in here. Let's spin the wheel and see who this week's winner is. Jane Welch. Congratulations, Jane. So Jane, if you will send me an email, diamondpaintinganonymous@gmail.com, send me an email with your mailing address information, and I will get this first week's weekly giveaway for DP for Pets 2024 out to you. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.